The House Appropriations Committee passed House Bill 1 by Representative Zarang, which will appropriate $45 million to the Insure Louisiana incentive program in order to address the property insurance crisis in Louisiana. This is the Pelican Brief. Welcome to the Pelican Brief. I am your host, David Tatman, and this is Season 1, Episode 1. The first extraordinary session of the 2023 Louisiana legislature is underway. The legislative session was called by Governor John Bel Edwards at the urging of Insurance Commissioner Jim Donelon to help address issues related to what has become a property insurance crisis in Louisiana. A few technical points. The Louisiana legislature meets in regular session each year. In odd-numbered years, the regular session begins on the second Monday in March and can last up to 85 calendar days and no more than 60 legislative meeting days. These sessions are referred to as general sessions. Legislators can address any issues but are not allowed to consider certain fiscal issues like raising or lowering taxes. In odd-numbered years, the legislature begins their regular session on the second Monday in April, so this year it would be April the 10th, and meets for no more than 60 calendar days and no more than 45 legislative meeting days. These are called fiscal sessions and are more focused on the fiscal issues of the state. Legislators may pre-file up to 5 bills of general jurisdiction during these fiscal sessions. Now, keep in mind, the governor and the legislature can call themselves into special session at any time, except during a regular session. These are officially called extraordinary sessions of the Louisiana legislature, or as we refer to them, special sessions. They must be issued by the governor or the legislature in a certain way. They have to outline the subject matter that may be discussed in the call through what's called items. The location of the session and the time frame relative to when the session will begin and end is also critical. In this case, Governor John Bel Edwards issued the call on January 22nd, 2023, which states that the special session shall begin on January the 30th and end no later than 6 p.m. on February the 3rd. It outlines that it's to be held at the Louisiana State Capitol in Baton Rouge and lists only one item for consideration during the special session, so very narrowly called. I'm going to read that to you. To appropriate excess state general funds from fiscal year 2022-2023, recognized at the December 15th, 2022 meeting of the Revenue Estimating Conference, to the Insure Louisiana Incentive Fund created by Act 754 of the 2022 regular session of the Louisiana Legislature for implementation of the Insure Louisiana Incentive Program administered by the Louisiana Department of Insurance. So a little background here. Louisiana is experiencing one of the worst homeowners and property insurance markets we have seen since Hurricanes Katrina and Rita devastated our state in 2005. 8 insurance companies with Louisiana policyholders failed in the aftermaths of Hurricanes Laura, Delta, Zeta, and Ida. And many insurers who stayed in the state and are temporarily not writing new policies. The Insure Louisiana Incentive Program was created originally after Hurricanes Katrina and Rita to help revitalize our property insurance markets. The program was recreated during the 2022 legislative session. The incentive program will offer matching grants to incentivize new and existing insurance companies to write residential and commercial policies in coastal areas, including writing policies out of Citizens Property and Casualty Corporation, which is our Louisiana market of last resort. This program was vital to the successful recovery of our property insurance markets after Katrina and Rita in 2005. And it is key to stabilizing our insurance market today as we continue to recover from the unprecedented hurricanes in 2020 and 2021. The program will award grants of between $2 million and $10 million to each qualified company that applies and is permitted to participate. Those companies will provide 100% matching funds for the grant they receive And the total new premium required to be written by each company is at least 2 times that total amount. So a company that receives $5 million in grant money would ultimately be required to write at least $20 million in new premium. And at least half of that $20 million would have to be in the 37 high-risk go-zone parishes. Those are generally coastal parishes. Companies must stay on the coverage for 5 years, and they will earn 20% of the grant each year for those 5 years. The participating companies will be subject to enhanced solvency monitoring, including but not limited to newly increased capital and surplus requirements, monthly reporting, in-depth reinsurance program reviews, and premium limits in each parish. The incentive program was recreated but not funded in 2022. The sole purpose of the special session is to appropriate dollars for that incentive program. Funding for the program as soon as possible is important because the sooner we can distribute those funds, the sooner policyholders can get out of Citizens Property and Casualty Corporation. About 10,000 Citizens policyholders, that's that market of last resort, per month are experiencing premium increases that are required by law. On the personal side, residential side, 63% increases and 76% increases on commercial policies. Reducing the number of policies in Citizens will reduce Citizens' costs for its reinsurance program that renews on June the 1st, the first day of hurricane season, of course. The Louisiana Department of Insurance's Incentive Program Regulation 125 will be final by February the 20th. If the special session can conclude before that happens, then the LDI could distribute those funds to approved companies in early March. This would give participating insurance companies a 3-month period to access reinsurance for their increased book of policies and start writing new businesses compared to the funding through the regular session. 5 insurance companies participated in the post-Katrina incentive program. We've received, I believe, 10 inquiries, 7 that are pretty solid so far, and some of them are actually currently licensed in Louisiana. Companies whose owners and officers were associated with any companies that failed in 2021 and 2022 would be prohibited from receiving these grants. I know that's a lot of information. Some people say it really doesn't concern them. They would be wrong. It doesn't matter what you do for a living. If you are in any way involved in securing insurance for your property in Louisiana, this has a major impact on you. If you have not noticed it, then you just haven't received your renewal, or in some cases, perhaps your cancellation. We will be monitoring activities in committees and floor action. The bill is supposed to be up today on the floor. This is a very short session. So far, there are only 2 bills to be filed. So tune into our podcast. We'll give as many updates as we can to stay up to date on what's happening in Baton Rouge and Louisiana State Capitol. We would urge you to subscribe to our podcast. We are available on all the major podcasting services, Apple, Spotify, Amazon, etc. You can also follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Our handle is @thepelicanbrief225. You can also follow us on any other platforms that you may subscribe to. We would love your interaction and comments on social media. If you are not on social media and would like to contact us by email, the email is thepelicanbrief225@gmail.com. Subscribe, like, and share. If you have a good take, I may mention you on the show. If you have a great take, you may be one of our guests. See you for our next episode of The Pelican Brief.